Hi everyone, it's Bev DeBono, and I have a really fun technique that uses these papers that have some really bold stripes to them or lines to them, or they're just very bold. And they also have a repeat to them every 6 inches. So what's from the first 6 inches repeats to the bottom 6 inches. And I just want to show you how you can take a paper like this, because when you look at a paper like this and you say, what am I going to do with this? Putting it right down on a page is very difficult. And usually we just take these and we cut little border strips with them. But there's another way that we can use these. So I just wanted to show you what I've been playing around with. And it's a really fun technique. So I have a couple of examples to show you before we get started. So this one is from the new collection called All American Blast. And you see this very bold, striped, patterned paper. But we can take one sheet of paper and just by cutting it in the right directions, we can make this into 3 pages. Okay, so isn't that fun? And it really takes that boldness out of the pattern. So I did another one with, and these are some collections that have some bold patterns to them. This pattern was from Christmas Charm. So you see the stripe in that, again, very bold stripe, difficult to just put on a page and use as a page by itself. But using the same technique, again, making 3 pages of this, and they came out, really nice. And it really takes some of that boldness out of the paper. But I love it that you can take one sheet of paper and actually turn it into 3 pages, 3 coordinating pages. So there's a couple other collections. I know there was one in School Days. There was one in the Craft Happy. I did another one with this cute collection. Creative Memories came out with that Growing Up collection a little earlier this year. And in the Growing Up collection, there were um, three of them that had these bold stripes as well. This one was called Epic Adventures. You see those bold stripes, dinosaurs, horseshoes, um, skeletons, really cute for a boy's type of a page. And then there's another one called Hello Lovely, which again, a busy, bold stripe. And like I said, we usually cut these off as borders, but I'm going to show you a different idea. This was another one called Indoor Play. Okay, again, very bold. Okay, so here's the Hello Lovely, because I just thought it was so cute. And I don't have a girl. I we only have one one son. So anytime I get a chance to make like a girl page or a girly page or girls' night out page, I have some fun with it. So this is again that bold stripe, and then these are the next 2 pages, and this turned it into like a tea time page. Okay, so let's get started. Let's select a very bold pattern, and I've showed you a couple of different ones, but I'm going to use the All-American Blast because it is the boldest one that we have. And let me show you how we're going to cut that. We also need 3 sheets of cardstock. And I suggest when you're using something this bold, Probably white would be a good base for you. So I have three sheets of white cardstock. Okay, so this is what you have to remember: 6, 3, and 3. Okay, 6, 3, and 3. So our first cut is at 6 inches. 6 inches. Okay, and we have that bold stripe going side to side. Side to side. I'm going to write that down. 6, 3, 6, 3, 3. That's what we're doing. Okay, 6 inches. Okay, then we're going to take it and move it to the 3-inch mark. Okay, and that's your other 3. So now you have your 2 3s, which are going to be on your next 2 pages. Okay, and now we're going to take the 6-inch one, turn it to the side, and cut that at the 6-inch mark. Okay, cut that at the 6-inch mark. And if you have one that's repeating, that's got an exact repeat, that's an identical repeat, you will be able to cut it and you will have the exact same. By the time you take it from the bottom and put it at the top, you'll have the exact same repeat. Okay, so now we just have to think of which way it's going to go on our paper. So we're going to take the stripe and we're going to turn it to the left and make a diamond. Okay, make a diamond, and we're going to line that up on our cut line at the 45-degree angle. Our cut line at the 45-degree angle. And we're going to cut right through there, tip to tip, just like that. Okay, so now the one at the top goes on the left. The one on your right hand goes to the bottom right. Okay, this is what we cut, and now it's going to go this way. So now we have to think about how we're going to cut this next 6-inch. Okay, if we cut it the same way, we're going to end up with the same pattern, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we really want the pattern to go this way, right? So we want the pattern to go diagonal the other way. So we're going to put it in on our trimmer, and we're going to put it to the right. Put it to the right. Okay, as a diamond, line it up on your cut line. At the 45-degree angle, line it up right on your cut line. Okay, and you see how perfect triangles those are. Okay, and now you have your cut line. Okay, so that is so fun. And you see we've got this beautiful pattern here. And it's really the best way to use that big sheet of paper. All right, so now we're ready to just tape that down. And I'm going to use my repositionable tape so I can get all those points and all those corners. And I'm just taping them all down really quick. And then I'll show you how to do your next 2 pages. So then you have 3 pages out of one sheet of paper. This is really fun to just kind of use up these bold pieces of paper because sometimes these are the ones that are left in my collections after I've used up a lot of paper from, from those pieces. This is what's left, and it's what do I do with those? Okay, and then our next two pages, we're just going to put one of the 3-inch borders all the way on the left and one of the 3-inch borders all the way on the right. Oops. So fun. And what I like to do with these is to just add at the edge of that border at the 3-inch mark, I like to add a little strip either of paper or stickers, maybe a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, just to kind of um, just to give it a nice edge to it. So this one I used the sticker that's from that collection, All American Blast. For the Christmas charm, I actually used a fine line, little red piece there, and it just finishes it off. Otherwise, your stripe is floating into your page. Okay, for the Hello Lovely, I used for this one, I used a 1/2 inch strip. I used a 1/2 inch strip of paper, coordinating paper. So you see it just kind of finishes off that big stripe so that it's not just, floating there. Okay. So I'm going to add, you can use a sticker, usually a 1/2 inch sticker or a smaller sticker, or you can use a 1/2 inch strip of paper. I moved my mat, so now I don't have let's see. I'm hoping that one was even. Yep, pretty much. And there you go. And then the rest is just to add your mats and your embellishments. Okay, so you can add your mats and your embellishments. I'll show you again what I did for the All-American Blast. I used up the embellishments from the pack. These are some fun embellishments. They've got some nice, a little shimmer to them. I love the red sunglasses. And I cut that huge firework in half for those two pages. Okay, so you can use 4x4s in the middle of this big one, or you can also do 4x6s. So it's not necessary that you just do 4x4s on that big one. You can do 4x6s, like you could put one big one in the middle. I hate to cover up the border, but you can put one big one up top and two 4x4s under. Like that. Again, or you could switch it, put the two 4x4s above. You can also make these a little bit smaller. Okay, and then for the other pages, just kind of do what you have to fit. Probably two 4x6s down here, and then maybe some 4x5s or 4x4s, depending on what how much room you have and what you're using as far as titles. Okay, for this one, I just used mats that were in the pack itself and then just made a longer strip to put several pictures. Okay, so I hope that you liked the technique. It's called using big, bold, patterned striped paper and how we can make one sheet turn into 3 pages. Tune in to my YouTube channel. It's Bev DeBono Designs. If you are not currently working with a Creative Memories advisor, I'd love if you could order from my website. All the information is in the comments. If you're looking to become an advisor and join a team, I do have a really great team that I support, and we have a lot of fun sharing ideas. And again, those all the information is in the comments. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.